A Kansas man has pleaded guilty to trying to set off a bomb at an army base. Authorities say he acted on behalf of ISIS. CBN national security correspondent Eric Gonzalez has more on the growing threat facing America: homegrown terrorists.
This man, 20-year-old John T. Booker Jr. of Topeka, Kansas, will serve 30 years for attempting to detonate a car bomb on the Fort Riley military base. Agents say he tried to connect some wires to what he thought was a bomb inside of a van. It turns out that the bomb was provided by an FBI informant. Thankfully, the feds had him under surveillance for months.
Mr. Booker was a young man who was born in Kansas, raised in Kansas, went to school in Kansas, but somehow became lost and became self-radicalized in his basement watching jihad tapes, and adopted a perverse notion of what Islam was.
He was arrested.
Former U.S. Attorney Barry Grissom says the FBI investigation began after Booker posted on Facebook that he wanted to commit jihad. Grissom says Booker tried to enlist in the Army to commit an inside attack against American soldiers.
The notion that we can build a wall or that we can deny visas for the purpose of keeping folks who want to do our citizens harm, that's going to address any issues we have, is completely wrong. Our biggest problem in law enforcement right now is the lone wolf.
Terror experts say people who feel disenfranchised from society and are looking for something bigger than themselves are often targeted by groups like ISIS. Many are not on government watch lists because they've never been arrested. The FBI reportedly has over 1,000 active terrorism investigations in all 50 states. Also, at least 250 people have attempted to or have traveled from the U.S. to join extremist groups in Syria or Iraq. And since March 2014, 128 individuals have been charged with terrorism-related activities in connection with ISIS.
Oh, you who believe, answer the call of Allah.
Experts call it a homegrown phenomenon in the truest sense of the word.
They're vying for our youth. They're trying to attract them, as well as all the other competing Al-Qaeda. And there's a whole long list, quite honestly, of various groups.
Christiane Boudreau knows that all too well. Her son became an ISIS militant. While growing up in Calgary, Boudreau remembers Damien as a warm and compassionate young man. That all changed in high school. At age 17, feeling disconnected from his classmates, Damien converted to Islam. She had no idea what was coming when Damien told her he wanted to study Arabic in Egypt. In reality, the 22-year-old headed instead to Syria to join ISIS fighters.
At the end of January 2013, that's when our Canadian equivalent of the FBI showed up on the doorstep and said they've been watching him for almost 2 years.
In November 2012, Damien died during rebel infighting. Boudreau now runs Hyatt Canada Family Support and Mothers for Life to provide support and outreach for those affected by violent extremism. For Boudreau, the anti-jihad cause has taken over much of her life. She urges all parents to watch over their children and to make sure what they're watching online is appropriate. Eric Rosales, CBN News, Washington.